Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a meditation bracelet using wood beads and a gemstone guru bead. So the guru bead is actually this little piece right here, and it comes in two different parts, and you can kind of see if I slide it apart there. It has the guru bead here that has that little T shape. You can sort of see how the cords are coming in there. And then this is your tower bead, so this will help sort of keep both of your cords together at the bottom. Now to slip it over your wrist, you just sort of pull it apart there, and to bring it back, you just sort of pull the two little ends. Now once it's on your wrist, you can tie a little knot at the top there and scooch it up. That way it will stay nicely on the wrist, but until then you can just sort of leave it open like so. Now these are aromatic wood beads that I'm going to be using today, and these are the 8mm, but today I'm going to be showing you one with the 10mm, and these have a beautiful cedar wood scent, so it's really just lovely, and it's very light. It's not overpowering. So that's sort of one of the nice things about these wood beads here. And I'm just using some little gold spacers just to kind of give it a little bit of an embellishment, so it's a little variation on the one I have over here. And I'm going to be using a different color of guru bead. Now, speaking of some of the variations that you can do with this, we have some 10mm gemstone beads, and with any gemstone bead or wood bead or whatever bead that you're working with, make sure that whatever cord you're using is going to fit easily through the center of the hole, so you might have to adjust what cord you use, just to kind of give you a gauge. Today I'm going to be using the lovely knots in the 1mm size. You can also use Eslon, pearl cotton, many of the other types of things that we have here at Beadaholique to do this, but I'm just going to be showing you that with the lovely knots. Now just to show you a couple of the other guru beads that we do have some of those aromatic wood beads to use as guru beads in 6, 8, and 10mm, and then I have a couple other guru beads here that are those beautiful gemstones. So if you're all set, we're going to go ahead and get started, and the only tools that you're going to need is you're going to need a twisted wire needle, a pair of tweezers, and I'm going to be using a pair of flush cutters. You can also use scissors if you like, and a pair of chain nose pliers to help you out. So I have 3 feet of my knotting cord already pre-cut here, so I'm just going to go ahead and dive in so we can get started. And what I'm going to do first is I am going to string on my twisted wire needle onto one end here. There we go. And just slip it down about 8 inches or so. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up through the tower bead here and just go ahead and slide that all the way down. And you're going to want to leave a tail of a few inches there. And then I'm going to slip on my guru bead. Now you'll need to find the bottom hole there, and you can see that the other holes go side to side. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my twisted wire needle and just kind of bend the end of it, because I need to direct it to the right hole, or in this case actually to the left hole. So I'm just going to try to kind of get it in there. And you can do this without the needle if you prefer. You can try to get the cord through there, but I like the needle. It just kind of helps guide it through. So now I'm just going to slide that down until it meets the tower bead. Now you have a couple of options at this point. You can move it all the way down so you have about a 2-inch tail and tie these little knots here, or you can leave it and just kind of adjust it at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and do my knotting right now. So let me just move that out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a single overhand knot, and it's about a 1/2 inch or so from the tail. I'm going to pull that tight, and I'm just going to repeat that by tying another overhand knot. And here's where you're going to use your chain nose pliers. You can just kind of pinch that end and give it a nice little tug. Make sure it's a nice strong little knot there. All right, so now just adjusting my guru beads again, because I want just about 2 inches or so. You really don't need more than that, because you have to know that you're going to have 2 inches on this side, so you'll be able to open this up 4 inches so that it'll fit around your wrist, and then you'll have these little guys just kind of dangling, so you don't want to make them too long. So the first part is that I'm going to move up towards my guru bead, and I need to place a knot right there. And to do that, you're just going to take your cord, wrap it around 2 fingers and behind, and you're just going to pull it through. And this is just an overhand knot, but before you finish it, take your tweezers and go in to the space, and you're just going to pinch the space where you want that knot to be. Now this is your time to kind of judge and just make sure that your length is correct. And I want my knot to fall right there, so I'm just going to tighten. And then when it gets close to the little pliers there, or the tweezers, excuse me, you're just going to tighten it down. So now our guru bead is all set to go. So I have my first knot. So now I'm going to begin my pattern here. And again, just moving to that twisted wire needle. All right, there we go. Just going to take my wood bead, slide that on. And this is again where you can use your pliers to just kind of help you through. Some of these wood beads have some cores and you'll see them start to kind of come through there. You can also use a bead corer if you like. We do have a video showing you how to use that, just to make sure that your beads kind of slide through. And this is just the same technique that goes all the way around, just doing that knotting in between and pushing that knot down towards that bead. So you get a nice result. All right. Now these are meditation style beads, or I'm sorry, style bracelets. So you can use them for that purpose, or they're just a very beautiful little style. And I like adding this little embellishment with either a gemstone or some sort of metallic bead. I think it just kind of adds a nice little touch to it. All right, so here is the basic technique, and we're just going to be working all the way around my little pattern here, and I'm just going to be adding one wood bead and one gold spacer bead. So I'm going to continue the rest here, and then I will be back to show you just exactly how to finish it. All right, so I'm just finishing up my last couple of beads here, and this is my last wood bead. So I'm just going to string that on, pull it down. Again, just kind of using my pliers just to help it along there. There we go. And I'm going to tie one more knot here. All right, there we go. So that is my bracelet here. And now I want to go through the guru bead, going through the opposite hole here. And now I need to go down and make sure it goes south there. So I'm going to kind of just curve my needle a little bit. And it helps to move your original cord out of the way. So you can just kind of wiggle it, and there we go. And out it comes. All right. So now what you want to do here is you want to pull it all the way so that it's nice and tight. And then you're going to put your needle through the tower bead here. Pull that down, pull it up to the beads. There we go. And now you're going to want to make that knot match about in the same spot as the other one, just so that it is nice and even. So I'm just going to take and do an overhand knot, and before you pull it tight, this is your opportunity to kind of wiggle it so that it matches the length there. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to give it a nice little tug. And now that I know where that knot is, I'm just going to repeat that one more time. And this is just, like I said, a simple overhand knot. And just going to pull that nice and tight. All right. So there we are, and I'm just going to clip my ends here using my flush cutters. Like I said, you can also use scissors. And you can see how much cord I have left over. It's at least a foot. I like to try to have at least a little bit of extra, but you never know when you're going to be knotting based on the size of your beads and whatnot. So just make sure that you always have a little extra. So that was 3 feet of cord, and this makes about a 6-inch bracelet here. So now I can put that on my wrist and close it up by using my little drawstrings. So that is how to make a meditation style bracelet, and you can find all of these supplies and even more at Beadaholique.com.